What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. If you like Dolphins coverage, you like Dolphins shenanigans, check out the Tobin and Leroy show on YouTube. I'll put the link here in the description. Check out the Porpoise Pod as well. That would mean a lot to me. My guy, Solana, he's out on the West Coast with the Dolphins getting ready for a prime time matchup against the LA Chargers. Tua Tagovailoa, he spoke today and was asked, not surprisingly, about the idea of taking on Justin Herbert and really what the comparisons are there for the Chargers QB and him, one pick apart. And, of course, Justin Herbert getting off to that rocket start, rookie records, the big arm, the big hoose, the cool hair. And they're taking each other on. Not the first time they're taking each other on, but this is definitely, I think, a much more interesting matchup, seeing as, Chargers are really scrambling to save their season. Dolphins, they can really do themselves a world of wonder in their playoff positions if they get this one on Sunday night. And it's inevitable. It's inevitable that this is going to be part of the storyline. But here's what Tua had to say about it.
Yeah, I feel that I've been very blessed to have gotten chosen, regardless of if I got chosen before him or after him. I'm just happy to be where I'm at. I don't think anything of it. I know everyone else outside of our building and fans want to make speculations about that, but for me, I'm just very fortunate, very blessed to be in this position. So. I'll let everyone else handle the talking with that, and that's my stance on it.
Yeah, well, listen, none of that's surprising. I mean, you talk about Tua and controversy. The guy is a black belt when it comes to that. He knows exactly where to put out the fires or where he wants to stoke them from time to time. Give a little jabby jab to Brian Flores. Who knows? Or media reporters that thinking that he can't throw the deep ball. Look, it's an interesting thing with Justin Herbert and Tua because everybody outside of I think he's a bum GM. I think he stinks. But the only guy I'll give a pass on this if he wants to keep peacocking, if he wants to that, is Mike Tannenbaum, because he did say in the lead up that he would take Justin Herbert. So he's one of the one voices out there that would have been like, all right, you know what, Tannenbaum, if you want to crow a little bit, fine, you were a Herbert guy. Most people weren't, as far as who were the top guys concerned. Most people looked at this as this was Joe Burrow's draft, number one, sensational season with LSU, and then I think most Dolph fans. Listen, I've been doing sports radio down here for a very long time, and in the lead up to this, a lot of people wanted. I would say the vast majority of fans wanted Tua Tagovailoa. If you're saying you wanted Justin Herbert, I'm going to need receipts because I don't believe you. There were many a column out here that were saying, oh, he's Tannehill-esque. He doesn't win the big game. He's not the guy. He never did anything. He didn't live up to expectations in college. Tank for Tua, that was going on down here for 2 seasons. You had Stephen Ross going to Tuscaloosa basically every other Saturday to go check him on out. The idea that they took Tua Tagovailoa was not looked upon as a shot. This wasn't like the 49ers taking Trey Lance or the Patriots taking Mac Jones or even the Browns taking Baker Mayfield. These were not things that were kind of surprising out of left. It was, for the most part, everybody in this draft had it Burrow, Tua, Herbert. That's how it was. There was no controversy. The thing that really threw it for a loop, and you give some credit to Justin Herbert just getting off to a rocket start like that. Dude stabs Tyrod Taylor in the ribs, and he's off and running like a rocket ship immediately and throwing up just crazy numbers. And the Dolphins weren't doing to it like that. He didn't come out of the box. He didn't come out of the packaging like an action figure. Quite frankly, there was some assembly required with Tua. First of all, the hip clearly wasn't all the way right. There was some rehabilitation that had to start there. You had this unbelievable drama that was going on. Justin Herbert didn't have any of that veteran in front of me, caricature, crazy beard, Fitzpatrick, who's boo-hooing to the media. Just had none of these obstacles to deal with in the lead up in the start of his career. His career just could go start and it was football. And that was that. And with the Dolphins, and Tua, you had a guy who maybe wasn't physically there all the way, brought him in anyway at a weird time. He was winning some games, but it wasn't the prettiest of styles at all. And you had a quite frankly, a local media down here that bought into this Ryan Fitzpatrick bullshit with his crazy beard and his boohoo pity party that made everybody, I think a lot of the local contingent down here say, oh, they made a big mistake. And then you had anonymous sources come out and all that stuff. It just got off to just such an awful start for so many of the wrong reasons for this quarterback. So it's inevitable. They're going to be tied together forever. And I think also Justin Herbert's early statistical success certainly threw a little bit more fuel to the fire, because even though the fans down here did not want Justin Herbert, the fact that he goes out there, it is not the fans' job to pick the right prospect. It is Chris Greer's job to pick the right prospect. And it had appeared that he picked a guy who may have been a generational talent, that Justin Herbert was going to be off and he was going to be the next damn John Elway. Who knows? But it's funny, like nobody was down here outside of some niche Dolphins Balls 69 on Dolphins Reddit. Outside of that, whatever Mike Tannenbaum's burner account was down here, dude, this fan base wanted to tank for Tua. And I got to tell you, the reaction after they drafted him on that draft night was goosies galore. Everybody was happy. It was about the happiest I've seen the fan base down here in a long ass time. They were happy to have the guy. But he got off to he was not the whiz bang, jumps off the page prospect like Justin Herbert was. And I think that definitely added to, wow, you had this opportunity to take this generational arm and look who you took. You took damaged goods. So it's good on Tua to not have to buy into any of that going into this matchup, but it is a juicy one. And I think for him in his secretest of moments, when he's there rocking baby Tua to sleep, he's got to be thinking, Daddy's going to slay this long-haired bum. And good for him. He deserves it. This is a thing with Justin Herbert this year. And here's the thing. I think most Dolphins would like to do this. They would like to enjoy other football. You guys would like, I think, to watch Justin Herbert. Go out there and ball out, Justin Herbert. I got no issue with you. I honestly have never heard the guy say 2 words. Why would I have any controversial takes about Justin Herbert? It's just interesting. The thing that you get annoyed with is you see all of the pundits around the league giving him the benefit of the doubt for no skill guys because they've been mired in injury, offensive line issues, coaching woes, dealing with injury. And these are all things that Tua calls year 1, year 2. I've dealt with that. And so I think it's completely fair to take a reasonable step back at things and say to Justin Herbert, man, Justin Herbert's dealing with a lot this year. It would be a reasonable thing to do if you kept that same energy and that same patience with Uno. If you did that, then I think Dolphins would feel differently about the way everybody is rolling out the red carpet, giving Justin Herbert, swaddling him up in a little blankie and sticking a pacifier in his mouth and rocking him to sleep. Saying, it's okay, baby Justin. Little football baby. I think everybody would feel differently if Tua was, handled with that same care. But he wasn't. And so the sympathy, the empathy, whatever the hell, whatever thee it is, you don't feel it when it comes to the other QBs and the issues they're dealing with, because Tua dealt with all that and he was called a bum. And even on a worse level, I mean, quite frankly, all this stuff that Justin Herbert's dealing with still doesn't compare to, that was the other thing with this was the other thing that was a beaut, right? When Tua was struggling, and then you have all of a sudden everyone, Brian Flores wanted Justin Herbert the whole time. Oh, okay. That's convenient. That reminds me of old Pat Whitegate back in the day when you had this Bill Parcells was the czar over the team, and Jeff Ireland was the GM. And then there was this magic trick that happened because nobody liked Jeff Ireland, that any mistake that happened, that became Jeff Ireland's. And Bill Parcells, because his fat ass was on TV with that fat pouch of his, all the bad moves, that's Jeff Ireland. All the good moves, that was Parcells. That Cam Wake, Parcells. Pat White, Jeff Ireland. And so you had the same thing that was going, oh, good pick? Flores. Bad pick? Chris Greer. Good pick? Flores. Good signing? Flores. Bad? Chris Greer. So it's just so many things that are interesting that will not have anything to do with anything that's on the field, but they are juicy and fun to talk about because it's only natural. Like it was, and I think the thing that's going to be interesting is this, like you're looking at a draft this past year with, Trevor Lawrence, and Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones, and all these guys. You may have a draft there where none of them are good. Maybe Trevor Lawrence will be good. I still haven't been that impressed with him, but maybe he'll be good. Maybe, typically these things are 50. Maybe the Burrow, Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa draft is the goldmine draft. Maybe that's just going to be known as one of those drafts for the ages back in the day. Maybe they'll all be good. Maybe these guys will all flourish. Wouldn't that be great? We just have so much football because look at all these guys' teams. Except for Justin Herbert. 500, you loser. But look, seriously, everybody likes watching him. Most people like watching him play football. They're all entertaining guys. They either are explosively athletic like Jalen Hurts. They have a hoose like Justin Herbert does. They have a bunch of swagger like Joe Burrow has. Or you have Tua Tagovailoa, who's just a freaking accuracy machine. He's almost like a jugs machine on the field. The way he can deceive, read the field, get the ball to his receivers. Like all of these guys are almost like a Justice League of QBs. They all might turn out to be good. But I can't feel good for Justin Herbert because you know what? You guys buried Tua. So F him.